Joining us this morning, getting ready for SEC Media Days, VolQuest's Austin Price back on the program with us here today. Austin, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, Ramon, I'm listening. You better not give Austin. Okay.
Hey, Austin, I'll tell you how much I love you more than Brent.
What's up, guys?
See, Hubs can't fight me right now. He's in the car hundreds of miles away, Hubs. I can say what I want to right now.
Oh, okay. It's going to be like that this morning. All right. Hey, Ramon, all you got to do is freeze him out this fall when Mike goes to throw to him. Just interject the thought and not allow Mike to throw down to him. That's how you get revenge on him.
See, that's the type of stuff I like right there. Well, one more second right here. I can't wait to one more right here. I can't wait to do it like that. I'll see you next Wednesday, too, Hubs and Austin, if y'all guys going to be around, too.
I will not be, but you can hang out with Brent.
Never mind. I won't be around then.
Cancel it.
Thanks. All right, I'll let y'all do your little segment here.
Little segment?
Let Mike K. from Franklin know that Ramon will no longer be making the way up next week. Austin, first of all, this morning, do you expect anything of particular note from Josh Heupel today? How much is he going to take pride in saying nothing, or what do you hope to learn from the Tennessee head coach as he makes the rounds for SEC Media Days?
Nobody takes more pride in saying a bunch of nothing, but we'll also give you a 2-minute soliloquy than Josh Heupel. I mean, he's going to talk about his team. He likes his team. I expect to hear that. I expect him to talk about just kind of the work they put in this offseason, how they've been kind of galvanized together, the quarterback competition that we will all see starting up in a couple of weeks, and just the unknowns that is Tennessee football as we head into this 2025 season.
Absolutely. Austin, when do you expect that QB battle to really heat up? Is it day one of fall camp? Is it the first scrimmage? Is it a couple of weeks? Like, when do we start to really get tangible evidence of, all right, here's a 1A, here's a 1B, here's a 1C, and this thing really start to amp up as we get closer to week one?
I mean, I think it's already started. I think in all of the throwing sessions with the receivers and all that, there's a healthy competition there. I think the competition is more internally. And what I mean this is like, I think George McIntyre is just kind of playing with house money. He's just kind of doing his thing. I don't think he really thinks about it as much as maybe Joey Aguilar and or Jake Merklinger do. I think George is just kind of putting his head down, going to work, and kind of laying in the weeds on this whole thing. He went into the 2025 season thinking he was going to be number 3, only playing in blowout situations. He's in a competition now. Again, I think he would be the undercard because he is a true freshman. But at the same time, I think it would be silly to totally overlook him. I think the other two, on the other hand, are more in this, like, who is this guy? Who is this guy type thing, like when everybody enters the room. Whereas, like, George is just like, hey, guys, what's up? Let's throw. I mean, like,
sure.
I just think he's much more laid back about it all. So the other two, I think, can see the competition in front of them, probably have a little bit more angst about it. But I think the competition's absolutely already started with just summer workouts, being leaders, dealing with people on campus, all those type things that you encounter on a daily basis if you're on the Tennessee football team, especially if you're the quarterback.
We're joined by Austin Price this morning of VolQuest's on 3. Do I say rivals also now, too?
Say them all, baby.
There it is. There it is.
Everything.
Hopefully more pay come with that. I'm lobbying for that so you won't have to, okay, Austin and Hubs? With that being said, though, speaking of the quarterbacks, man, I'm going to take something from actually Vanderbilt's Diego Pavia. Ron Slay asked him a question yesterday about how it was for him, and he told us this is essentially the time of the year he got to campus. It somewhat aligns with Joey Aguilar's and just the leaving of Nico Iamaleava, and he basically said he was behind the 8 ball, and he spoke about the idea of him having to capture a win against Virginia Tech. And what it meant for his team. And considering this is a new quarterback regime for this Vols team for 2025, I have to ask the question because I felt like Diego Pavia had an understanding and a level of maturity of what it meant for him to have a big moment. Do these three quarterbacks in Knoxville have that level of maturity to understand that they got to go and do something big and fast for them to be able to captivate the trust and just knowledge of what it means to play in the SEC moving forward, which is new to all three of them?
Yeah, I'm not sure George fully grasps it just because, again, he went into the season dating back to January thinking one way, and then it's kind of morphed on him a little bit. The other two, I think Merklinger understands he's got this window that's opened where he has a chance to capture something, right? And if you're Joey Aguilar, you're here for a one-off. You're here for, a season. This is your opportunity at UCLA in front of 12,000 people, and now all of a sudden you've got a chance to be the starting quarterback at Tennessee playing in front of 100,000 plus. And so he has an opportunity. So I think that of anybody, Aguilar understands it, but I do think there's an understanding there from Merklinger because he sees the window has been cracked open for him to potentially slide in here and establish himself as Tennessee's starting quarterback before George really gets going and before Faison Brandon arrives. So this is his opportunity. As for Aguilar, he knows that it is hit the ground running. There are no breaks. There is nothing but full speed ahead and trying to learn the offense, learn his teammates, learn the program, learn the traditions, all of that in very quick manner.
No doubt. Also, looking at the running back position, as much as we speak about the passing game and the quarterbacks, this run game has to be elite for the Vols because it allows the quarterbacks to grow up a little bit, man. What is going to be the expectation for Peyton Lewis and also Deshaun Bishop? Man, we've heard so much about Deshaun Bishop. I definitely feel like he's one of Coach Heupel's favorites, man. And I think just a team favorite in general. But what do you expect from guys like him, who's this third year for Deshaun Bishop and the second for Peyton Lewis?
Well, I think that the running game has always been stout under Josh Heupel, no matter who the running back has been. Since he arrived 4 years ago, this is going into year 5, 4 years ago, he's had 3 running backs eclipse 2,000 career yards, Jabari Small, Jalen Wright, and then, of course, last year with Dylan Sampson, in different ways. I mean, they all were kind of different type backs. There's not been a cookie-cutter type back. This room, I think, has talent to it. I like Deshaun Bishop a lot. He's got the right mindset. He's got a certain swagger to him because of his story and how he went from just having a couple of smaller offers to taking a chance and walking on at Tennessee and being the hometown kid. Then you got Peyton Lewis, former 4-star, highly regarded recruit. You have guys like Star Thomas, who's kind of bounced around but had a really solid year last year at Duke that can help Tennessee in a number of different ways, and then somebody like a DeJuan Morris or Justin Baker who are true freshmen. Mm-hmm. So I like this group. I think that there's less questions in that room, even though you're replacing the SEC Offensive Player of the Year, than there are at quarterback, than there are at wide receiver. So I think the running back room is really solidified. It is a really solid group. Maybe it's not got the individual star power, but I don't think you have to have that. Again, especially the first 3 years under Josh Heupel, it was a heavy rotation. The difference there is last year you had Dylan Sampson, who got a lion's share of the work and did so with a new position coach in Darrell Sims. This year, Sims will have that chance. Does he go with 1 or 2 backs? Does he go with 3 or 4? He will tell you he's done it a number of different ways at different stops along the way, whether it be at Cincinnati, East Carolina, or wherever. So I think he's not locked into doing it one particular way. Whatever gives his room the best chance to have success is the way he'll do it. And based off my knowledge of everything, I would say you're going to see a healthy rotation of running backs in 2025.
Speaking of the running backs, let's go to the guys that directly hit them play after play, man, the linebackers. Is there not a better coach to be able to handle? I mean, is this the best coach that we could possibly have handle this linebacker group in William Inge? With the guys he's gotten as of late to commit, and also just looking at Arian Carter, Jeremiah T-Land, and just the balance of talent that they have coming into that room now, it seems to me that Coach Inge is by far the most perfect guy for that position to the era that they're in right now. How has that evolved, and how do you expect that to move forward? Because I feel like the good Tennessee teams, or just good college teams in general, that inside linebacker position, man, leads the way defensively, I feel like more times than not, on the elite teams.
Inge played the game at a high level at Iowa. He's a very laid-back human being, a laid-back coach. He's a great teacher. You talk to former players that have sat down and had skull sessions with him. You talk to former players that maybe have, kids that are recruits that have sat in the room and heard their son talk ball with William Inge, and they're all super impressed. Inge kind of hit the ground a year ago and did a fantastic job of blending into a room that he did not recruit. And those players like Jeremiah Thielander and Arion Carter and Edwin Spillman all gravitate towards him. He's a different personality. And I think that somehow, some way, they've all really just kind of fallen in love with playing for him. And he's done a tremendous job of recruiting the last couple of years. That was a big question of him coming in was, can he recruit? He's always been on the West Coast. He's never been in this league. And he's done a really nice job. You look back at last year, Brendan Ames, Jaden Perlahi, Jaden Harmon, 3 highly thought of linebackers pull the trigger. This year, T.J. White and then Braden Rouse the last couple of weeks to go along with Braylon Outlaw, who committed 6 or 8 months ago or whatever it was. Another nice class of linebackers. That's a room that I think is one of the strongest parts on the team. Now, again, some of it is unproven, but I really like their top 3 linebackers. And if any of those freshmen can show them anything, or Jordan Burns in his redshirt freshman year can show them anything, I think the depth there will prove pivotal for Tennessee as a defense.
VolQuest's Austin Price, our guest on 3 Rivals, VolQuest.com, where you read his work. JB Shabazz, Austin, commits to Tennessee last week. The On3 and Rivals industry ranking, love him as the number 9 offensive tackle in the country. What kind of get is this for Tennessee? 6'6", 280, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That's been fertile recruiting ground for Tennessee, Austin, and another homegrown member of this offensive line that Josh Heupel's kind of putting together a pretty good group of.
Yeah, JB is a kid who I think best football still ahead of him. He's still learning the tackle position, getting a little bit more polished at the tackle position. He's not as polished as David Sanders was a year ago, but is big, long, physical, has those athletic traits, is very agile for an offensive lineman. And so this is someone who Glenn Ellerby really took a liking to. And when you talk to him, he'll tell you that relationship was big for him. It was the relationships, how he felt when he got here for his official visit back in the month of June, that led him to pick Tennessee. Just a handful of, throughout the last couple of weeks before he made his decision last week. And so I think for my liking, Tennessee's done a fantastic job of bringing in tackle bodies the last few years. When you look at Bennett Warren, even a guy like Jesse Perry, who's more of a swing guy, David Sanders, obviously, and then you look at, Lance Hurd out of the transfer portal. A few years ago, they did not have tackle bodies like they have right now. And I think that speaks volumes about kind of where they've went, where they've targeted, and the success that they've had over the last, couple of years out there on the recruiting trail.
Austin, I know a lot of Tennessee fans curious about the star rankings and the changes this time of year, and Faison Brandon being a 5-star and then now a 4-star in the industry ranking. I know you're not the one making the star rankings, and it's hard to speak for somebody else's scouting or decisions about a player's status changing in July. Maybe the better question for you, though, Austin, is what is maybe the thing Faison Brandon's going to have to work on? What is the knock on him for a guy who is such an elite prospect? Where does he still need to improve going into his senior season to put himself back in that 5-star conversation?
Well, first off, he's still a 5-star by the industry ranking.
Right.
And I think the biggest thing most people need to realize is the Rivals ranking, the old Rivals ranking went away. The new Rivals ranking is the old On3 ranking that just now has the Rivals logo to it because of the acquisition of Rivals. So in reality, the Rivals ranking went away. The On3 ranking is now the Rivals ranking. So we can consolidate it down to one. So nothing's really changed. He was ranked in the 30s by On3 before the rankings update yesterday. He's ranked at 33 after it. And so it's a bunch about nothing, to be honest with you. He's still a 5-star. I think in the end, he'll have an opportunity to end up being a 5-star by the Rivals ranking again before it's all said and done with a really good senior year, and we'll see where things go. But, you know, he continues to impress. He impressed at the Elite 11. The kid's coming off the state championship and, you know, continues to do things, you know, the right way. So Joey Halsley, Josh Heupel, they could not be more excited about Faison Brandon throughout this process.
When you look at a guy like Tristan Keys, too, it's also a Tennessee target, I think, still. What does that do for him? Wide receiver is a very tricky, delicate position, man, and a lot goes into your praise on the front end from your quarterback and everything else. Has there been any contact with him in a response as to how that plays a part into, to be quite honest with you, the mindset when those stars mean a lot to these young guys?
They do. I think that Tennessee continues to have a great dialogue with Tristan Keys. He's one that, if let's say he flipped tomorrow to Texas A&M, he's going to visit Tennessee this fall. He's going to visit Miami this fall. He's going to visit A&M this fall. Like, I don't think like him flipping right now does him any good. I don't think that's the plan. I think the plan is just to stay committed to LSU and take your visits. And I think he'll be in Knoxville this fall. He'll be in College Station this fall. And this thing, the rubber will meet the road sometime probably late November, early December for Tristan Keys, and they'll go from there. There's going to be a few of these that are more exciting finishes than they were maybe in the middle of the road as far as recruitments. He, Hezekiah Harris, Tristan Givens, all these players that Tennessee, I think, will continue to battle it out for, much like they did a year ago when they flipped Jaden Harmon from Alabama, when they flipped, you know, DeJuan Morris from Southern Cal. A year ago, we saw more flips for Tennessee to the good than in years past. I think there's the potential for that this year as well.
He is VolQuest's On Threes Rivals, our own Austin Price, who joins us at 8:20 here every week. Co-pilot Brent Hubbs along for the ride to Atlanta. Guys, safe travels. I appreciate you as always, and enjoy another SEC Media Circus. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, guys.
No grabbing the steering wheel, Hubbs.
It's a rarity that I'm driving, guys. Normally, I'm asleep in the passenger seat.
See, he's punishing you from going out of the country. He wants you to get back to American roads, Austin. That's all.
Punishing me so much that I'm going out of the country again Friday.
You just flexed on us real quick, man.
I love it. All right, guys.
Enjoy yourself, fellas.
Enjoy. There's Austin Price, Brent Hubbs with us here this morning, talking some Vols. Good stuff.
My man's getting his international stamps up, man. Also, he'll need a new passport. I hope he got that gold star in his driver's license, though.
Yeah, the real ID. I
ID.
need to do that.
You do?
I've still not done that.
Come on, my boy.
I take my passport to fly right now.
I got it. Man, did I tell you about the story we had at Customs?
No.
Oh, my. If you're going out of the country with somebody else's kid that's a friend of your son or something like that, you have to get a handwritten letter from the parents. We almost got stuck at Customs. They almost took us to the back room.
It's Bahamas, too. You do it in the Bahamas.
What's crazy?
You do all the immigration stuff there, then you get on the plane.
I know.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, come back. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was just like, do you have a letter from their parents? I was
Not
like,
words you want to hear from a customs agent. Come back.
Quick pro tip. I said it on 3HL. If you're going out of the country with someone not your kid, get a letter written from the parents to say it's okay. They don't want to do FaceTime. They don't want to text. They don't want to call.
I went down there to broadcast that track meet I did last summer, and I had to explain very specifically what I was doing for work. Because I imagine they don't get a lot of people that say they're in the Bahamas for work.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you working on?
Oh,
I'm a broadcaster. Of what?
She made.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
This lady made us sweat, Will. I can only imagine what it meant for you. It's like, we're actually taking them back to America.
Yeah, right. You're right. 615-737-1045. Lane Kiffin was on the Paul Feinbaum show yesterday. It's like an 8-minute audio clip. We're not going to play the whole thing, but this was one of the greatest pieces of content that I've seen from an SEC football coach in quite some time. It's so entertaining. We're going to play you some of it coming up next.